through partnership. So how do you do it? And how do you know that medical home can be working? This is how we've decided to do it through the Colorado Trust Grant and Health Integration, by using a best practice technique of developmental screenings. We can open up doors with concrete tool that can help track the progress and form some connections. So we use the ASQ. So many different providers are involved in developmental screenings. So we can track the progress and track the process of the developmental screening, open up these doors to different providers and talk with them, actually lay a blueprint for how future communication and partnerships can be formed, all the while using best practices in childcare. So when asked this question, I'm going to put hard numbers to these pie charts you'll see on the left. 7% say that they do have a formal process to share developmental screening. Backing up a little bit, it was indicated that 6 providers will perform developmental screenings. Of those 6 who perform developmental screenings, 4 will share the results with other people. Of those 4, so now we'll move over to the slide on the left, excuse me, the slide on the right. Of those 4 who share results, 2 will hear any information back on their client. So that feedback process is obviously, again, another hiccup in closing this loop. So only 50% of people that share the information will receive any type of information in return on the status of their client. So by coordinating efforts of both public and private providers, the quality of health and wellness can increase and create a comprehensive medical home care for families. So we're looking at building the partnerships with this coordinated care. The comprehensive model is looking at the child and family's medical, educational, developmental, psychological, and other services needed. And they can be identified and addressed by a comprehensive approach and looking at all of the issues with the family. I looked at this with behavioral health providers by asking about case conferencing. Do you provide case conferencing? And 89% said yes. So it's important to note here that this case conferencing was only with other behavioral health providers. In a medical home model of care, it wouldn't just be behavioral health providers, it would be medical providers, and it would be early learning, and it would be parents, and it would be any other community member or provider that is working with that child. So it would be a comprehensive approach and a team effort to look at some of the different issues for the child. Follow-up. This is a huge thing to, again, close this gap to ensure that the treatment plans are being followed and to make a comprehensive total care for a child. 79% do provide a type of follow-up system to the treatment plan offered. And again, I use the word system just to see, and I believe that this word system, process, protocol did throw off some people. But this is really just a standard of work, a standard operating procedure. Do you have something that you do for every single client that's written down that you can offer these community resources to help them with other resources in educational, developmental, or medical needs? And if there isn't, how can we make that? Because this will, again, create sustainability and will create a continuous process for every client. As we move into culturally competent or culturally sensitive, the child and family's background, including beliefs, rituals, customs, are recognized, respected, and incorporated into care planning. So when we're asking about specific cultural populations, 61% do not work with specific cultural populations. When we're looking at the demographics of Broomfield and you're considering specifically ethnicity or race, we are pretty concentrated in a Caucasian race or ethnicity. However, with this, we want to look a little bit deeper, just more beyond the surface, to look at things like the rituals, the customs, the beliefs, the eating habits, things that families are culturally using in their own home. Also, gender differences, including transgender, homosexual, bisexual, anything that may make it a little bit different. And then our behavioral health providers attending trainings to enhance that cultural competency as it goes through the spectrum of cultural differences. 84% are. because we're looking at more than just race or ethnicity, and we're trying to burrow a little bit more deeply to create a culturally competent medical home model of care, is there an assessment to see that beyond just the superficial, what we can see? 89% do provide a type of assessment on initial intake. So the medical home creates a paradigm shift in the delivery of care. It includes providers working with early childhood in all domains, working to form partnerships and collaborations. And the horizontal line in these vertical silos are always the family. So let's not put the care in silos anymore. Let's bust those silos and collaborate across systems. And that's what medical home is seeking to do, and that's what we are seeking to do as behavioral health providers. At this point, you could stop the recording and think about various questions that you have, and I am absolutely ecstatic to answer any questions that you have. So take this presentation back to your providers or other colleagues and see what questions you come up with. However, before you move on, there are a few more questions I have of you.